kind of at a loss. I'm kind of down right now because I don't know. I don't want the dream to end right now, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna get the diagnostic done today, and then go from there. So I ended up in Sierra Blanca, which is about 89 miles from El Paso, and kind of in the middle of nowhere. I was able to get some respite here at the Hotel Americana. I got some oil and radiator fluid at the Chevron there. Gonna change the oil, flush the radiator. I was able to get 4 of the 6 spark plugs out. Of course, it's Sunday, so I can't get the vehicle repaired, but here I sit for now. I actually pushed it from the parking lot over there to over here. There's a roadside assistance, an individual, Christopher, who's working on helping me out, and we're gonna see what we can do about getting this fixed. Just about everything we're doing is taking probably twice as long. We're gonna take this to his house where he's got more tools, and we're gonna try to work on this. All of this is working towards saving money, but I'm also hopefully gonna get some decent footage and make a new friend. Christopher's his name. Where do you want to put it? Well, I mean, honestly, if you just pull around here and we can just drop it off right on the other side of what looks like a pool area, I guess. I don't know. I mean, what is that right over there? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So just go that way, and we'll just put it right on the other side of that, like right on the other side of where that is. Does that road go all the way around? Yeah, that's fine. I don't need carport or any area like that. We can just drop it off right over there. Is there a better place to work on it? No, still like to work on it. Yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. Well, one of the drawbacks of having a roadside assistance individual work for you, Christopher, is constantly on call as well. I mean, he's got to pay his bills, but when people call and they need assistance, for instance, the trucker over there that needs some help with his starter, and Christopher's going to take care of him. But hopefully this doesn't take too long, because I'm looking for some spark plugs and distributor cap. Changed the oil, drained the radiator and filled that back up. And these are just kind of preventive maintenance things to see if those help. If that doesn't help, if we can at least get it started, maybe we can bang out the catalytic converter. Otherwise, I'm probably going to need to replace the catalytic converter. That's not something that I'll be able to do here. And if I can get the vehicle running, then I'll be driving to El Paso, see if I can find a mechanic that'll help me out there. But before I close this one down, I wanted to introduce Chico. Say hi, Chico. He doesn't seem very ready to say hi. Hi, Chico. How you doing? And so now it has come to this. I have the Xterra getting ready to get towed. No choice. So here we go. About $160 in, and the only thing I got was a oil change, 4 of the 6 spark plugs replaced, which I put the spark plugs in. Christopher took them out, and the radiator flushed, and that's about it. I am now going to have to pay close to $400 for a tow, and then who knows what they're going to do at the Nissan dealership in El Paso, but I don't really have much of a choice.
As you can see, I am definitely not in an ideal situation. I would much rather have mountains in the background. I think it's a financial institution, and to my right is a Nissan dealership. I'm kind of propped up behind Sarah, just doing a quick vlog. Thankfully, there was a company that was bringing cars to the county courthouse for auction. So they had 2 flatbed trailers that pulled up whenever I called the wrecker service. I have never in my life called a wrecker service and within 10 minutes had 2 flatbed trucks show up. But again, it was pure circumstance as far as the vehicles being in Sierra Blanca. This is the time where it would be awesome if I had some patrons or individuals who are willing to help out monetarily in any way possible, because these are the kind of circumstances that that I'm in right now. These are the kind of circumstances that limit the longevity of this opportunity that I have, because I have no idea how expensive it's going to be. But I mean, if it runs into the several thousands, then it's close to a showstopper. And I made it here about 10 minutes before they actually closed the service department, so I was able to get checked into the service department, so they know I'm here tomorrow or this morning. They're going to do the diagnostics, and they're going to see exactly what's wrong with the vehicle and let me know.
11 days this has been going on. I broke down in Sierra Blanca, which is about 89 miles east of El Paso, on Saturday. What happened was, while I was on the highway, it narrowed down to 1 lane and traffic slowed down a little bit, and then as it started to open back up and traffic started to pick up again, I began to accelerate and it began to misfire, and it was pretty steady misfiring, and not real sure exactly what the circumstances were that led to that. But anyway, the check engine light started flashing. Everything that I've read says that when the check engine light is flashing, you pull over. You stop driving, and in many cases you're done. If it won't stop flashing, then you are going to end up having to get it towed. So I pulled into a motel Americana, stayed the night. I was going to hopefully let it cool off or let it do whatever it needed to do to kind of reset. And the next morning it wouldn't even, well, it started, and then it ran for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then it started to sputter and it died, and then it didn't start at all from that point on. I had a gentleman by the name of Christopher who has a roadside assistance business, and he was able to get me towed out to his place. And we didn't really have any idea exactly what, well, of course, without diagnostics, we didn't have any idea really what was going on. But with the misfire, we thought, let's go ahead and just replace the spark plugs. So we replaced the spark plugs. We changed the oil, and we also, because he wanted to, or he was pretty adamant that we needed to flush the radiator as well, even though that's a brand new radiator and it's actually less than a year old, and the fluid was at level. I think he just didn't know that it was a clear antifreeze. So we went ahead and flushed that. Interestingly enough, bought a bottle of antifreeze that was clear, so he was introduced to the fact that they do sell clear antifreeze. So I left his house, and it wasn't very long down the road that the check engine light started flashing again. I limped it into town to pretty much the same spot that I broke down, that hotel, or that Motel Americana. And then just at that point, I didn't really have a choice. I started making phone calls for wrecker services. I was calling local wrecker services, Sierra Blanca Wrecker Services, called 2 of them, and both of them were going to charge me. One was $588 and one was $651, I think. And then I called another tow company from a town that was about 15 or 20 miles west between Sierra Blanca and El Paso, and they were going to charge me close to $700. I actually came across an ad, and I just clicked on the ad, and it was a company that gave me a tow, and I'm going to give a little bit more specific information. I do have a business card for them. I just can't remember the name off the top of my head. They happened to be bringing some cars to the courthouse in Sierra Blanca for an auction, and so they were there. It was 2 flatbed wrecker trucks that were there, and one of the drivers of the wrecker truck was the owner, and he quoted me a price of $355 with taxes and everything. Plus I used a credit card. It ended up being $381.76, I think, or something like that. But definitely a lot better than anything else. So I went ahead and paid that and got it towed to the Viva Nissan in El Paso. Came across, Kate was in conversation with an individual by the name of Jesse. Jesus is his real name, goes by Jesse. And he was able to get me at least settled in, and I slept in my vehicle at the parking lot that night. The next morning they came and they got it into the shop, and the diagnostics on it were pretty extensive. They were able to get some of the work done to at least get it started, but the check engine light was still on. Catalytic converter needed to be replaced, and the exhaust needed to be replaced as well. All told, because Nissan doesn't manufacture the parts anymore, all told, all aftermarket parts with labor, it was almost $6,000. That was a huge hit that I'm having to float over the next month or 2. And man, I tell you, this would definitely be the time where that monetization would come in handy. If I had some patrons on Patreon, that would be awesome as well, because don't believe that I would be able to absorb a hit like that again. And because it was aftermarket parts, there was also a delay in delivery, so I ended up, because I couldn't sleep in the vehicle because it was in the shop, I ended up having to get a hotel room. So added to that about $300 for a hotel room for 7 days, and I just got it out of the shop earlier today. I was able to get on the highway at around 10 o'clock. I stopped along the way at BLM in just outside of San Antonio, that town. I stopped on the way to back to Texas and then out to Georgia. Basically back in that same area, that same location. It's a nice area, nice place. I'm going to put the drone up tomorrow. Hopefully it's as calm as it is right now. This would have been perfect if I had gotten here a little bit earlier. Had a lot of stuff that I had to reorganize because I took out what I needed and had it in the hotel room, and had to put it all back in. But sad part about it is that I ended up, it was about about 100 miles outside of El Paso. So I took I-10 to where it shoots north, and I-25 shoots north, and it was about 45 miles on I-25, and from El Paso to that spot is about 60 or so miles. So about 100 miles away from the dealership, the check engine light came on again. And I stopped at the first town that I came to that was large enough to have a parts store. They had the computer, they could plug it in, they could do the diagnostics, and they did the diagnostics. And it said main air intake sensor needs to be replaced. Well, more than likely, when they were going through and they were unplugging everything and moving everything around in order to get to the area that they needed to work, it's possible that either some dust or debris got in there, or maybe there was Jesse said, it's possible there's a bug that got in. I don't know. What I need to do is go in and start pulling all of those sensors apart, and I'll go ahead and pull that air filter off and make sure that it's seated in correctly and everything like that. But I don't know. I'm certainly not going to drive back to El Paso to have them do it. I'm hoping that I can resolve this relatively quickly, because I do not want to continue to drive with the check engine light on. I want to get that resolved. So, but I need this vehicle to last. I mean, I've been in it for about a year and a half, and I want it to last for a while longer. I'm going to wrap this up because I'm going to catch that sunset.
Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know, if I'll ever figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
All the best, always.
Wanna come down to the underground old school? Here's a shovel, can you dig it, fool? Can you dig it?